Dear Esther, I hate you. I think you're a dreadful abomination of a game and a complete waste of time. Originally, I was going to make a video talking about you and other similar games like Brothers, Limbo, and Gone Home. However, when I played through you again, I realized that your dreadfulness could not be confined to a small part of some video. So that is why I'm going to give you the full in-depth review you deserve, you son of a bitch. Sincerely yours, Yomarz.
Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me.
So for the uninitiated, this is Dear Esther. It's a game where you walk around. I'm just kidding, of course. I can't leave it at that. So Dear Esther was originally a Half-Life 2 mod created by the Chinese Room and released in 2008. It was then released commercially in 2012, with the main difference being that the graphics are now a heck of a lot better. And you're paying $10 for it. But I feel like it wouldn't be fair for me to just rag on the game for the whole video, because there were definitely parts that I appreciated, the art direction being the main thing. About halfway through the game, you end up in these caves, and believe me, they are absolutely stunning. When I first played the game, I was practically acting as the virtual tourist, taking pictures of anything and everything I could see. The lighting effects and reflections, while not all that technically astounding to 2014 or even 2012 standards, are still beautiful and make that part of the game incredibly memorable. The rest of the game, while decent looking, still kind of looks and feels like a source mod. The menu even has that little Half-Life 2 bloop in it. When you first start up the game, the atmosphere is what really gets you. You wake up on the beach and instantly feel lost and alone. You explore dingy huts and see strange symbols drawn in the sand, and the fear of the unknown slowly seeps into your brain. You feel that you are vulnerable. You feel that you are being watched, and that anything could happen in this strange and unfamiliar land. And then you realize that nothing happens. You literally spend the next hour of your life walking through these linear paths, with your only entertainment being to enjoy the scenery. Occasionally you find a few forks in the road, but God forbid you take the wrong path, because 9 times out of 10, it's a dead end. So then you gotta walk all the way back to where you started while moving slower than a sack of bricks. And this is what really gets me about the game. The absolute tedium of walking around everywhere. You can't run, you can't jump, you can't crouch. It's basically just holding the W key for an hour without interacting with anything. And yes, I said an hour. It will only take you about an hour to beat Dear Esther from beginning to end. And there's no additional content, no alternate endings, no reason for you to keep playing after you finish it. Unless, of course, you want to try to make sense of the story.
The water is too polluted for the fish, the sky is too thin for the birds, and the soil is cut with the bones of hermits and shepherds. I've heard it said that human ashes make great fertilizer.
So the plot of this game is all told to you by the narrator. Some dude who wrote letters to this woman named Esther after he was stranded on the island some time ago. Or was it some time ago? But you are definitely not the narrator. Or are you the narrator? But the narrator definitely isn't talking to you. Or is he? Do you see what I'm getting at? This game is ridiculously confusing and doesn't fully answer any of the questions it raises. Who are you? Who is Esther? What is this island? Why are there these strange chemical symbols written all over the walls? The game gives the basest answers for all these questions, but you're never really satisfied. It's completely unfair to the people playing the game. Like, imagine if they made a show where there was this magical island and they kept raising all these questions, and by the time it was all over, they never really answered any of them. People would be furious! But of course that would never happen, because TV writers are smarter than that. Now, I don't have a problem with open-endedness. I actually like the ending to Inception. My problem comes from when the questions themselves are already confusing to begin with. The game's narration isn't exactly chronological, and it jumps between topics like crazy, so I never really get a good grasp of what in the hell the narrator's talking about in the first place. One minute we're learning about white lines in the rocks, and the next minute it's goat farmers and hermits living in caves. And to add to this, the dialogue you hear is chosen at random by the game, so you'll never hear everything there is to hear in a single playthrough. But the part that really bugs me is that you have no input in any of this. I don't feel any connection because I can't see the effects of my actions, and I can't see the effects of my actions because I have no input. Now, I'm not saying that every game needs to be a Mass Effect or a Dragon Age with their dialogue trees and morality systems. Even in a linear game like Call of Duty, when you shoot the guy, they fall down. And you might hear people say, hey, you shot the guy, good job, so you feel like you're actually in control to some small degree. Dear Esther doesn't have any of that. It's somehow made playing a video game into a passive experience, and that's a feat unto itself. I have literally nothing to gain from controlling the camera. It would probably be better as a movie. You know, it'd probably be better as an audiobook. Just anything except the game. Part of me feels like I simply don't get Dear Esther. Maybe I'm just too obtuse to grasp the subtlety of its brilliance, and honestly, that might be it. I get what the developers were doing here. They were trying to show us a new way to experience a story through an interactive medium, but that's not really what they ended up doing. This is not a game. I know I've addressed it as such in this review, but that's mainly because it's kind of hard to classify. You know what it is? It's sort of like one of those haunted houses that you walk through. You know, the ones that charge you an arm and a leg and you have to keep moving and you can't really touch anything for legal reasons. Yeah, it's like that. But this is not what I'm faulting Dear Esther on. I'm faulting it on being an insufferable drag that somehow made an hour feel like 3. But I can totally understand why other people like it. It's certainly unique and some people might just enjoy that change of pace. But to me, just because it's different does not mean it's good. And that's how I feel about Dear Esther. It's a commendable experiment, but to me it's an awful game. And in my opinion, it is a crime to charge $10 for it. You can get more out of your dollar by buying a cheeseburger. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to see my previous video, you can go ahead and click on that big box on the left. And if you click on the smaller boxes, those will take you to my Let's Play videos. Make sure to subscribe if you liked the video, and if you're into the Twitter, you can go ahead and follow me on that too. Alright guys, I'll see you later.